As petitioners in this case, we respect the views and ruling of the court, but we disagree with the court's reasoning and conclusions in the judgment it delivered. It is my intention as the presidential candidate and the intention of Labour Party to challenge this judgment by way of appeal immediately as allowed by the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The PEPC has rendered its judgment, but that esteemed body is not the final arbiter. The responsibility now falls on the Supreme Court. I do know that the judgment is not conterminous with justice. I implore Nigerians to remain focused, steadfast, and peaceful, and to abide by the rule of law and understand this matter has not reached its logical.
We have the firm instruction of our clients to challenge the judgment on appeal. And the court has promised us that possibly by tomorrow we are going to get a copy of the judgment. Once we have it, we swing into action. Let me say this. We have to be very, very careful in this country. If we are not careful, electoral jurisprudence will virtually disappear.
This is a struggle that is not just for our clients, but for the constitution of this country, for the rule of law, for democracy. We were expecting an outcome that will improve, encourage the use of technology to enhance election management, to enhance transparency, to enhance accountability, so that Nigerians will believe.
These recent elections. It's unfortunate that because the two things happened, first of all. One party took over the labor movement, which is one of my favorite movements also. And then it became a regional party, more than, whereas it was a marvelous breach into the established two camps. Peter Obi achieved something remarkable there, that he broke that mold. Yes, however, he did not win the election. In addition, my own organization has a monitoring unit. You know the one I'm talking about. And so I could say categorically that Peter Obi's party came third, not even second. And that the leadership knew it. But they wanted to do what we call in Yoruba, gbajue. That is, you know, you have force of arms. You also have force of lies. And it was gearing up towards violence. They were going to send, some of the hardliners were going to send crowds, young people, into the streets to demonstrate. I'm always ready to be among such demonstrators, but only on the banner of truth.
This whole election thing in Nigeria is getting me a little bit confused because I'm thinking like, what if I know the chances are like 0 or to the minus, but let's look at it this way. Let's say, hypothetically, Peter Obi somehow is being declared the winner of the election by the Supreme Court. Somehow. And I have to stress the fact again, the odds are 0 to the minus that the Supreme Court will side with them. But for argument's sake, let's just say the Supreme Court decided to side with them. Then what happened next? Has anyone thought about this? What happened next? Will Tinubu be pushed out of the presidency or what? what then happened? I really do not understand how the system in Nigeria works. But shouldn't all this be cleared out before the leader is sworn in? Shouldn't all these election malpractices or complaints be looked into by the courts and all their decisions made public before a leader is sworn in? How can one party be challenging the election in court while the other party has already had their candidate sworn in as the leader of the country? And in what universe does Peter Obi think that the court would ever side with him? That somehow Tinubu hasn't gotten the court to side with them? Because as of now, right, Tinubu is their leader, is the head of the courts, is the president of the nation, is the head of the military. So it's so funny. And I know Nigerians will argue that their courts are independent. They will argue that. But are you really sure the courts are independent? Are you really, really sure? Can you bet on that? That when it comes to political issues in Africa, the courts are independent? I don't think so. But I stand corrected, right? So all this thing that Peter Obi is doing, to me, it's of no use. It's just to be wasting people's time and getting people concerned about issues that we already know the outcome. Because I believe that Peter Obi himself knows the outcome, that he is never, ever going to overturn the verdict of the last presidential election. Never, ever. Tinubu has won, whether legally or illegally is immaterial. At the end of the day, he was declared the winner of the election and he has been sworn in as the president of the federation. So no matter what Peter Obi does, nothing will change. So if you ask my opinion, I would suggest that he let all this go. He start preparing for the next election, I think in about 4 years' time, and he gets himself in full gear. I think he might just win the next one. You never can tell. But just going up and down, challenging election verdict, to me, is of no importance. It doesn't really make any sense. And one other thing, I wonder how threatened Tinubu is right now to be challenged by Peter Obi, because I know Peter Obi is also very popular. And with the wave of coup d'etats in Africa, I guess any leader who is having an issue with an opposition leader or with the military is really, really paying attention because anything can happen. I'm just kind of worried about Nigeria having a coup, but I might just be too deep into my head, right? Maybe Tinubu is good with the military and they might not want to stage a coup in Nigeria. But one must wonder what might happen because Peter Obi has said that he's not backing down. And they saying that INEC is corrupt is kind of like an understatement because everyone knows that by now. Had it been that Peter Obi won the election, he would not be complaining about corruption in the INEC. But you guys out there, do you think that Peter Obi can ever get this election verdict overturned? And if so, what happened next? Will Tinubu be dragged out of the presidency? Those of you in Nigeria, I think you guys might best know how this whole thing might unfold. So please, my fellow Nigerian brothers and sisters, educate me on this. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because little bit of good to it, like what you're doing just now, help us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.